Snow had a way of making the world feel quieter, as though every sound had been wrapped inside a thick white blanket. On one unforgettable afternoon, that silence settled over Ashcroft Manor, just outside Portland, Maine. Inside the grand home sat 81-year-old Walter Ashford, a self-made millionaire whose wealth could buy almost anything except the one thing he had been searching for during the final years of his life. Resting on the polished oak table beside him was a plain cream-colored envelope containing $8,000 in cash. Walter's eyes were closed, his breathing slow and steady, making him appear fast asleep. Anyone walking into the room would have believed they were completely alone, with a fortune waiting to be claimed. What happened over the next few minutes would quietly rewrite the ending of one man's life and begin a story that people in the town would still talk about many years later. Before we continue, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoy meaningful stories about hope, honesty, and second chances, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our next story. Now, let's return to the snowy afternoon that changed everything. At first glance, Walter Ashford seemed like a man who had everything. His estate stretched across acres of pine trees. His investment company had once appeared in national business magazines, and his name had been attached to libraries, museums, and scholarship funds throughout New England. Yet, the people who knew him best understood a different truth. Walter trusted almost no one. Every smile directed toward him felt rehearsed. Every handshake carried a question hidden beneath polite words. Every compliment sounded as though it expected something in return. Years of success had filled his bank accounts, but disappointment had slowly emptied his heart. Walter had not always been this guarded. Long before the expensive suits and boardroom meetings, he had grown up in a modest neighborhood where his parents worked tirelessly to provide for their family. They taught him that a person's character mattered more than the size of a paycheck. As a young man, Walter believed those lessons with all his heart. He worked long hours, started a small business with a close friend, and eventually built it into a thriving financial company. Success arrived one careful step at a time, and with it came recognition, influence, and opportunities that once seemed impossible. He married the love of his life, Eleanor, whose gentle spirit balanced his relentless ambition. Together, they imagined growing old, surrounded by children, grandchildren, and memories worth far more than money. Life, however, rarely follows the plans we make in our younger years. A trusted business partner secretly manipulated company records for personal gain, leaving Walter to repair both the financial damage and the public embarrassment that followed. Although the company survived, something inside Walter changed. He began questioning every motive and every relationship. The strain spread into his family life. His only son believed Walter cared more about protecting the company than protecting the people closest to him. Their conversations became shorter, colder, and eventually eventually disappeared altogether. Then came the loss of a leaner after a brief illness. The house that once echoed with laughter became painfully quiet. Walter often wandered from room to room at night, surrounded by priceless artwork and antique furniture, realizing that none of it could answer loneliness. As the years passed, Walter developed an unusual habit that none of his attorneys, employees, or distant relatives fully understood. Every few weeks, he placed a different amount of cash somewhere visible inside Ashcroft Manor. Sometimes it was $1,000, sometimes $5,000. On that snowy afternoon, it was $8,000. He would sit quietly with his eyes closed and wait. Gardeners, delivery workers, contractors, guests, and even acquaintances occasionally found themselves alone in the room. Nearly every person noticed the envelope. Many glanced around to be certain no one was watching. Some hesitated for only a few seconds before slipping the money into a pocket or bag. Others removed part of the cash, convincing themselves that taking only a little somehow made the act acceptable. Walter never confronted them. Instead, he quietly crossed another name off the invisible list of people he believed he could trust. By the beginning of that winter, Walter had almost convinced himself that genuine honesty had become exceptionally rare. His housekeeper once suggested that perhaps people simply struggled under difficult circumstances and made desperate decisions. Walter wanted to believe her, but every test seemed to confirm his growing disappointment. If enough money appeared within reach, someone eventually claimed it. The amount hardly mattered. Rich or poor, educated or uneducated, well-dressed or plainly dressed, the outcome usually remained the same. Each envelope strengthened the wall around his heart. He no longer expected to be surprised. He certainly did not expect that the person who would finally challenge everything he believed would arrive wearing worn-out boots and carrying nothing more valuable than a basket of homemade bread. Several miles away, 9-year-old Noah Brooks buttoned the faded green coat that had belonged to an older cousin years earlier. The sleeves hung past his wrists, and the fabric had been patched so many times that almost every section looked slightly different from the next. His grandmother, Margaret Brooks, smiled as she placed several warm loaves of fresh bread into a woven basket. Baking had become her modest way of earning extra money after Noah's mother passed away. And although the income barely covered groceries and heating bills, she refused to complain. Noah admired that quiet strength. Every morning before school and every afternoon afterward, he found small ways to help, whether chopping firewood, carrying deliveries, or shoveling neighbors' sidewalks after heavy snowfall. He never considered himself unlucky. He simply believed that tomorrow might be a little better than today. One of Margaret's regular customers requested a special delivery to Ashcroft Manor. The weather had kept several helpers at home, so Noah eagerly volunteered to accompany his grandmother through the falling snow. The walk felt longer than usual as icy wind swept across the quiet roads leading toward the estate. towering gates finally appeared through the white landscape, Noah paused for a moment. He had never seen a house so large. Warm lights glowed from enormous windows, and smoke drifted gently from tall stone chimneys. It looked less like a home and more like something from an old storybook. Neither Noah nor his grandmother could have imagined that before the sun disappeared behind the snow-covered pines, one small decision inside those walls would connect their lives to Walter Ashford forever.